It's your boy, Blue Tiger, ASMR, and I'm coming at you with another video, my second ever video. I was trying to debate with myself, what do I do? And I got it. I'm just gonna simply read you guys 60 weird facts you may or may not already know. You already figured that out by the title. I've got my tablet, my Surface Pro, which in the future, if I do role plays, if you want role plays, I got a keyboard. A lot of the things people ask for is keyboard sounds, so you know you can do that, or hit the back, or if I'm like, welcome in, something like that. So we'll put him to the side for now because I've already got it. So we're gonna start just reading the facts. So this is mainly just a whispered video, so no problem if that's not what you like and you leave. I'm totally okay with that. So we're gonna get started here. The first one is that flamingos bend their legs at the ankle, not the knee. So a lot of people think that flamingos bend their legs at the knee, but as it said here, it's their ankle. They basically stand tiptoe closer to their body. Wow. Roller coasters were inevitably invented to distract Americans from sin. Okay. Sorry, I had to cut it. My computer wanted to give me notifications right now. In the 1800s, businessman LaMarcus Thompson hated that Americans were tempted by places like saloons and brothels. So he set out to build the Americans' first roller coaster. How about that? Ice pops were invented by an 11-year-old on accident. In 1905, an 11-year-old boy named Frank Epperson left soda powder and water outside overnight with its wooden stir still in the cup. The mixture had frozen in the chilly nighttime weather, and so the Epsicle was born. And that's what then went on to become the popsicle, the popsicle, the popsicle, the popsicle, the popsicle. Wow. So popsicles were an accident. That's okay, so was I. Sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins can. One more time, that's sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins can. By slowing their heart rate, they can hold their breath for up to 40 minutes. Dolphins can only do it about 10. Wow, so a sloth can potentially hold its breath 4 times longer than a dolphin. That's kind of weird to think about. An American woman by the name of Jeanette Rankin, I hope I said that properly, was elected to Congress before women's suffrage. Now that is just crazy. Women were given the right to vote in 1920. We knew that one, but she became the first woman in U.S. federal office in 1916, 4 years prior. So, good for her. Wow. Actually, that's really good for her. Maybe people are finally coming around. I just don't understand inequality. It's just not cool. Fruit Loops are all the same flavor. I did know that because I love Fruit Loops. But as a kid, I probably did not think that. Because, logistically, you look at the different colors and why would they be the same? So, that's weird. Supermarket apples can be a year old. I like apples. Most apples are picked between August and November, covered in wax, hot air dried, and sent into cold storage. After about 6 to 12 months, they finally land on the store shelves. Well, they wouldn't do it if it was a health hazard, but that is very interesting to know. Unsure about how I feel about that one. It is impossible to hum while holding your nose. So, if you want to stop and hold your nose and then try to hum, go ahead. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, whatever. whatever song you want to hum, go ahead. Nah, I just sound like I'm struggling for breath. That's weird. Octopuses have 3 hearts. I did know this from one of those weird trivia tests I had to take when I was younger. I remember that. They have 3 hearts. That's 2 more than me. Most wasabi paste isn't real wasabi. Wasabi's expensive, but it's actually much milder, the real kind, than what you get with your sushi. Okay, wow, so they're making it spicy for no reason. That's all cool. People used to say prunes instead of cheese when having their picture taken. In the 1840s, that was a little bit ago, one London photographer told people to say prunes to keep their mouths taut. Oh, 80 years later, it's what we call a fish face. Prunes. Why would I want a picture like this? Not for me. Okay. In the Philippines, McDonald's serves spaghetti. Do they do drive-thru there? Pasta comes with beef and tomato sauce. McDo fried chicken. I can't imagine like pulling up to McDonald's like, yeah man, spaghetti and meatballs for sure, dude. That's what's up. Dunce caps used to be signs of intelligence. Is it dunce or dunce? I think it's dunce. I can't remember. I went on like a history lesson when I was in elementary school, but I think it's oh man. It's either dunce or dunce, but I think it's dunce. I could be wrong, but if you know what I'm talking about, it's these hats. I don't know if that picks up as those hats. And they used to be signs of intelligence. I guess we flipped it on them. Wow. That's crazy. Lobsters taste with their feet. That's what's up. Tiny bristles inside a lobster's little pincers are the equivalent to human taste buds in their feet. So, lobsters munch it down with their toes. Nobody knows. Okay. The British royal family is named after Windsor. You'd think Windsor Castle was named after the House of Windsor, but it's the other way around. Oh, so the family was named after the house. Well, isn't that special? The Three Musketeers bars, the popular chocolate if you're familiar, got their name because they used to come with 3 flavors. Oh. It used to come in vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. The World War II rations made the triple threat expensive, so the company eventually cut it down to 1 flavor. 3 Musketeers. Before toilet paper was invented, Americans used corn cobs. I don't know if I have anything to say about that one, but hey, gotta do what you gotta do. The Empire State Building has its own zip code. 10118 is the Empire State Building zip code. It's a pretty big building. Pretty big building. The shortest war in world history lasted 38 minutes. Now that's a quick war. When the Sultan of British protected Zanzibar died, and a new one took over without British approval in 1896, the British were not happy. Tension escalated when Sultan Khalid bin Bargash, I hope I said that right, refused to step down, but the British warships spent less than 40 minutes bombarding the palace before Khalid fled, marking the very quick end of the Anglo-Zanzibar War. 38 minutes. I mean, that's pretty impressive, so shout out. I don't know if that's a shout out, but the British were not playing that day. Blue whale tongues can weigh as much as an elephant. That's a big mouth. The world's largest waterfall is underwater. It's under the ocean. It's weird. It's called the Denmark Strait. It's the cold water from the Nordic Sea, and it's denser than the emerger sea's warm water, making it drop almost 2 miles down at 123 million cubic feet per second. Don't swim around there. Michelangelo, if you're familiar, wrote a poem about how much he hated painting the Sistine Chapel. Now, how about that? It is beautiful, though. I talk about Michelangelo a lot randomly with my friends because of how long he lived in his time period and his art. And when I was younger, I got blessed enough to visit the Sistine Chapel. That's funny that he hated it. I mean, it's a lot of work, but it's so well known. I don't know how well renowned it was back then. I don't know how information spread, but that's so funny he wrote it. But look, so one translation of the poem he sent to his friend begins, "I've already grown goiter from this torture, hunched up here like a cat in Lombardy, or anywhere else from the stagnant water's poison." Wow, so he was not a fan. It's a huge building, so. Shadows are darker on the moon. On Earth, the atmosphere scatters more sunlight, so our shadows are not too dark. Okay. Some sea cucumbers fight with their guts. Literally. When threatened, they shoot out their internal organs, which are poisonous. That is crazy. The inventor of the internet regrets the URL setup. Tim Berners-Lee, who created the main software of the World Wide Web, admitted he regrets. Yo, I need to take an English class. He regrets one thing: adding the double dashes after HTTPS in the web address. It was standard programming, but it did not serve any real purpose. Wow. The Statue of Liberty used to be a lighthouse. About a month after the statue's 1886 dedication, it became a working lighthouse for 16 years, with its torch visible from 24 miles away. Well, Lady Liberty, there you go. Strawberries are not berries. Neither are raspberries or blackberries. True berries stem from one single ovary flower and have 2 or more seeds. Strawberries do not fit that description, but bananas, kiwis, and watermelon do. That's crazy. The U.S. Treasury once printed $100,000 bills, as in a bill that says $100,000 on one bill. I don't know who's rich and needed that, but that is aggressive. Between December 18th, 1934 and January 9th, 1935, the notes with Woodrow Wilson's face were issued to Federal Bank reserves, but never went out to the general public, which is probably for the best. So for a month, they decided, hey, let's make $100,000 bills. Dude, it would be so easy to steal $1 million. That's so messed up. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't do that. A flock of ravens is called an unkindness. They're also commonly known as a conspiracy. Okay, well, maybe ravens give off a signal that are just, hey man. NASA uses countdowns because of a sci-fi film. The countdown Fritz Lang used to create suspense in the rocket launch scene in his 1929 silent film, Fra Amand, did not just change film history. It also inspired NASA to use countdowns before its own blast-offs. Wow, so NASA copied that from a movie. That's crazy. There's an ant species unique to New York City called Manhattan ants. Manhattan ants. In the state of Illinois, fancy riding on bikes is illegal. That means riding without hands or taking your feet off the pedals when you're on the street is illegal. Well, they're probably trying to be safe, but you know people do that anyway, so. The world's smallest wasp is smaller than an amoeba. I probably did not need to know that. I am not a fan of wasps. The Megaphragma myrmidibeni wasp has the same body parts as any other bug, but is 1/5 of a millimeter long. Some single-celled organisms are bigger than a wasp. OK most likely stands for fake words. In the 1830s, people jokingly spelled abbreviations incorrectly. One of those most famous, all correct, turned into oral correct, and then of course into OK. Historians think it's stuck between Martin Van Buren, known as Old Kinderhook, after his hometown in New York. Supporters called themselves the OK Club. Okay, the Eiffel Tower was originally intended for Barcelona, but the Spanish city thought the design was too ugly. So Gustave Eiffel pitched it to Paris instead as a temporary landmark during the 1889 International Exposition. French critics were not a fan as well. Well, it stuck. Queen Elizabeth II's, rest in peace, cows sleep on waterbeds. So the cattle at the royal palace or around the ranches, I guess, sleep on waterbeds. And it said it helps ease their pressure points. Well, that's actually very thoughtful. But I don't know what they use the cows for, so I don't know if it's just for milk. But that's thoughtful to the cows' pressure point. Albert Einstein is actually an anagram for 10 elite brains. Now that's obviously just a coincidence, but how about that? Seems very fitting. Yes, he was very smart. British military tanks are equipped to make tea. Well, that's very stereotypical. I can joke, but think about that. You're in battle on a ship, but you're like, I want some tea. That's what's up. Pez candy was originally invented to help smokers quit. That's thoughtful. There's only one Shell gas station that is shaped like an actual shell. 8 were built in the 1930s, but only one is left standing, and that's in North Carolina. How about that? There's a couple shells around here at your Shell gas station. You can see 4 different states from the top of the Chicago's Willis Tower. From the top of the former Sears Tower on a clear day, you can see about 40 to 50 miles away, beyond Illinois and out to Indiana, Michigan, and Wisconsin. That's crazy. The shortest commercial flight in the world is in Scotland. I do know about this. I watched a YouTube video the other day that popped up on my recommended. It's the Scottish regional airline Loganair, and it's a flight between the islands of Westray and Papa Westray. It's a distance of 1.7 miles and a flight time of 90 seconds. I saw a guy do it. It was a 90-second flight. There's a specific reason that passports come in 4 colors. The reasoning is because most countries prefer darker shades of red, green, and blue, since they look more official, and if they're dirty, it's not as noticeable. I think mine are blue, so that makes sense. I don't know if all of America is blue, but the letter Q does not appear in any U.S. state. Wow, that's pretty weird. I don't know. Do we have a Z in any state? I'm not sure either, but I feel like that's a weird one to throw in there too. Scotland has more than 400 different words for snow. There's 421 exact different words for snow in Scotland. That's crazy. The world's largest national park is located in Greenland. The remote national park is 375,000 square miles. That's aggressive. The Eiffel Tower took exactly 2 years, 2 months, and 5 days to create. I guess that's just a fun fact on how long specifically it took. I feel like that's kind of impressive for how long ago it was and how big it is. There's an American flag on royal wedding souvenirs. There's the one for Harry and Meghan. See the American flag on it. There are 5 countries in the world that don't have any airports. Vatican City, smallest country in the world. San Marino, Monaco, I can't pronounce that one. Justin, that was bad. And Andorra do not have any airports. Bleach expires. The cleaning product lasts about 6 months. I don't know if everybody. It's not something I've ever thought about. But your bleach can expire. The smallest country in the world is Vatican City by land mass. I don't know if it's population as well, but it is a very low population. I did know this fact as well because it's a weird trivia when people ask. But it is 0.02 square miles. I also believe I've been there when I was younger. It's very lucky to go. It's crazy. Cars can capably reach 140 degrees Fahrenheit very easily. So a car can get up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that is in Celsius, but that's crazy. Cucumber slices can beat bad breath. Cucumbers can fight bad breath. That's just the fun fact. So I guess if you don't have a mint or anything, nibble on some cucumbers. The last letter actually added to the alphabet was J. My name has a J in it, so that's fun. It wasn't Z, it was actually J. Well, how about that? The shortest railways in the world take less than a minute. It's in Fisherman Walks Cliff Railway, located in Bournemouth, England, and Angels Flight, located in Los Angeles. They are both the shortest railway in the world. There you go. And that is all the facts for today. So, thank you for listening. If you still are to all these fun, weird facts, let me know if you knew any. In the comments, please feel free to let me know things I should work on, things I should do, anything you may or may not want to see. Thank you for watching, and I hope you sleep well or have a great rest of your